Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Propagandacast Lehr with me, your host, Imperial Dane. Looking today at Osttruppen builds, sort of some of the current ones, and overall, there's not a lot of Osttruppen builds going on currently because they sort of tend to run into the issue the Osttruppen got nerfed, and well, a lot of the allied stuff got buffed, so ultimately Osttruppen just aren't quite cutting it in a lot of ways. But for the players who still do, I mean, it can still work, but it's increasing a lot more effort than you have to, your opponents have to put in. So just a small caveat that if you do decide to try and pop into, Osttruppen strategies, it's not that good at the moment, but it can work. We have some here with Stormtrooper going for sort of a sniper build, try to use the Osttruppen that way, offset, the long build time with the sniper, the resource course there, just swiftly move out to use territory, then use the sniper to that way bleed, using the Osttruppen sort of screen off, soaking up the fire while the sniper then sort of does a lot of the damage. Of course, the overall key to remember with Osttruppen strategies, you want a bunch of them, and of course you want to remember to use cover, because out in the open, the Osttruppen are terrible because they can't hit the broadside of a barn outside cover. But generally, you want to get at least like 3 to 4 Osttruppen squads. You go for an Osttruppen build, then want to use them so you can again swiftly move from cover to cover, try to use them aggressively, push out the opponent, and then either using machine guns or snipers that way, sort of trying to swing engagement in your favour. You're going machine guns, obviously you want to push the machine guns really aggressively. Again, the Osttruppen draw fire, the machine gun then deals the damage, and then the Osttruppen, if you've got machine guns, pull in and then sort of finish off the unit, forcing retreat. Then with snipers, you just use the Osttruppen sort of draw fire, and also prevent them from just rushing a sniper, and then you sort of, push back the infantry. So those sort of the general strategies there in that sense. But again, 3 to 4 Osttruppen, fast tech. Generally long term, even with tier 4 and the light machine guns become available, they kind of want Pentagon these, because the Osttruppen still, even the light machine guns, still struggle from the issue that long term they're just not that good. In particular, you have to replace them. They really become terrible. Even with the light machine guns, the Osttruppen just aren't worth it. That's really one of the main issues with the Osttruppen strategy long term. They really drop off in utility again, even with the light machine gun upgrade. So that is something that's very much important to keep in mind. But overall, again, I mean, most players will just try and skip tier 2, to be honest, then push straight ahead for tier 3 and begin pushing for medium armor. Like Panzer Force, which is generally sort of the most efficient German Panzer at the moment, which, a lot of players basically rely on because it's what they can work with. Going for the officers is not a bad idea. It's a pretty good solid combat unit. Can of course also provide support for the Osttruppen, boosting their firepower, providing smoke. A lot of utilities. Then of course the supply drop is not a bad ability either, rather expensive still. Can further support the tier 3 rushing and increasing. That's also what you simply set up here for again. Dropping a machine gun, dropping a pack 40, bit of fuel munitions, that way allowing you to skip tier 2. Put your head for Panzers, and that way you can try and pull it for an edge. But again, you want then so Panzer Force, and at some point I kind of want to back tech for Panzer Grenadiers, because again, the Osttruppen just aren't going to cut it. If you're producing Grenadiers that late into the game, they're usually also going to get shot to bits. So Panzer Grenadiers, I think in most cases, will be your best bet to support your Panzers, to be quite honest. So again, Osttruppen strategies right now, not that solid, not bad, but they have some weaknesses that can easily be exploited, and again, they also tend to run out of steam in a sense pretty rapidly. So that is very much important to keep in mind when trying to execute an Osttruppen strategy, otherwise things will very quickly go wrong. Also important is to try and use the numbers. So overall, try not to enforce an engagement you generally can't win that in your favor for. You want to grind down your opponent engagements that favor you if possible with them. So overall, if you encounter a hard point with the Osttruppen, you try and play around it, rather than just pouring more Osttruppen into it, because that's going to be a losing engagement for you, which is not going to help. Try and sit to play around. In that regard, if you know how to play with a lot of conscripts, Osttruppen to an extent work like that, except you've got no run and you've got to stick to cover. But if you sort of play more like that, the Osttruppen strategy will somewhat work out for you, somewhat. So that's sort of largely what there is to say there, really. I mean, again, it's not the best sort of strategy at the moment. You can do it, but it's generally not what I'd recommend overall against types of players. You're usually better off trying to use it against the Brits, since they were all the one with, slower, expensive sections earlier, and we may be able to push an edge there. But as the Soviets, it's pretty weak, and most of the Americans, it doesn't work too amazingly well either. So it's a strategy with a lot of caveats. Can work, but increasingly doesn't. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this little Propagandacast Lehr. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. This is Imperial Dane signing off, and see you all another time for another video. Whoops. Cheers.